do, YouTube? Your boy Playoff Don is back with another video. For this video here, I want to talk about one of the number one topics in the NBA right now. No, I'm not talking about Draymond. I'm going to talk about something a little more wholesome, a little more fun to watch, and yeah, man, I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder and how much of a joy they are to watch, and how interesting, how fascinating, um, what's going on with this team here. Uh, it's been years of building up for this for Oklahoma City. Years and years of tanking and draft picks and assets and all this bad basketball. It was all this was going on. Slowly, methodically, strategically, cerebrally. That's a word or not. Bit by bit, putting this team together from GM Sam Presti. Sam Presti is so, like, it's crazy. Not a lot of people know GMs. GMs are just like household names. They're known around the league. Sam Presti's like that. Like, people just know Sam Presti because he's just done a bunch of crazy stuff. Of course, he put KD and Russ and Harden together. But bit by bit over these years, coming out of that Westbrook era and putting this team together to get back to contendership. Like I said, piece by piece, trade for Shea, bring in Lou Dort, you draft Josh Giddey with the 6th pick or whatever, you draft Jalen Williams, and of course you take Chet. Bit by bit, year in year, they just build and build, and they were always competitive. There were years where they weren't good, they were always competitive. Building until this season right here, where they are legitimately one of the they're serious, and they're legitimately one of the 3 best teams in the Western Conference, one of the best teams in the NBA. Period. I mean, it's crazy. They're not first, but they're top 5 in offensive rating. They're top 5 in 3-point percentage. They're top 5 in steals per game. They're top 5 in field goal percentage. They're top 5 in a lot of stats that you want to be top 5 in as a basketball team. And it's not just the stats. The eye test as well backs it up with this team. And it's crazy because they're so young, but they play so seasoned and so maturely, if you get me. I've never seen a team just like drive. I've never seen a team drive as much as this team does. As far as driving, I mean driving to the basket. Like, that is first and foremost. That is the number one thing we do to get our offense started, to put pressure on the defense. We're gonna drive to the rim. Drive. Everybody on that team has somewhat of a handle, can put it on the floor, and they put pressure on that rim because they know that sucks in the defense, creates better shots for other teammates. They abuse that against teams, and nobody can keep these boys out of the paint, whether it's Shea, who's an unbelievable superstar, whether it's Jalen Williams, whether it's Lou Dort, whether it's Josh Giddey, whether it's Chet. These boys put it on the floor, and they whatever the term I'm looking for, it's like they aggressively assert themselves, putting pressure on that rim, and it opens up so much for their team, so much for their offense. And it's crazy. They never turn the ball over. They play so sound defensively as well. You don't see a young team. It just amazes me with OKC. You never see a young team play this maturely like this. And again, back to Shea, led by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who is yet again averaging 30 points per game after being first team All-NBA last season and having an awesome season last year. He is, I mean, I don't know if you have to hear me talk about it. Everyone knows how unbelievable of a player Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is. It's incredible to see him get to this level because nobody, absolutely nobody, except maybe his parents, ever thought he would get to this level as a basketball player, where he is to the level where he is legitimately one of the most dominant isolation scorers in basketball by the numbers, by the eye test, by the team results. It's insane. He's ridiculously productive, and it's still quiet. It's still kind of quiet. Like it's not like it's smooth, but it's not like loud. You feel me? Nobody's on Twitter talking about Shea Gilgis Alexander's going crazy right now. Nobody's doing that. You just check the box score. Oh, Shea has 32, 8, and 6 again. Okay. Oh, Shea's wait. Shea's got 34, 4, and 5 again. Oh, yeah. On wonderful efficiency. Yeah, it's insane. He's got a locked in handle. He'll fake on you like he's going to the basket, hit you with a smooth step back. He doesn't shoot too many threes, but hey, it's all good because he's a knockdown mid-range shooter. He gets to the free throw line whenever he wants to. Shea is dominant, dominant, and he is it's it's surgical. He's a little bit like Kawhi Leonard a little bit. Like it's just textbook. It's smooth, it's quiet, but it's textbook, and it's insanely productive. Nobody can stop that dude, and he has finally got the team around him, which is clearly ready to compete. Um, Again, last year they were just a really tough, competitive team, but they stayed hovering around 500. They eventually lost in the play-in tournament. They needed that one more piece. Everybody know they need that one more spot to fill in at the big man spot, and they found it, of course, with drafting Chet Holmgren, number 2 overall. He gets hurt his first year, but plays this year is effectively his rookie season, even though he's a year 2 player. But it's his first year playing, so he's technically a rookie. He's technically not. That's all murky. But this is his first year playing for sure. And Chet Holmgren, man, I thought Chet would be good. I thought from day one, at least from day one, he would at least be a above average rim protector, and it was going to make a serious difference for this team because they were not a great rebounding team a year ago, and they just didn't have an interior presence to threaten any team that they were playing. Now they do, and then some. Chet Holmgren is way more skilled than, well, I don't want to say more skilled than he showed in college, but I just didn't think the skill would translate this soon and be this productive and this consistent. He is he's he's probably their second best player, second best offensive player, really. Chet is not just a pick and pop. I really thought he was just going to be like a 14 point per game, just a pick and pop big who can get some offensive rebounds and some cleanup points. No, Chet puts it on the floor. He can run pick and roll. Like he posts guys up. Like he hits turnaround fadeaways. Chet is awesome right now. He's the second dude on this team right now. Man, they are here again. Like they're here, and they just had an incredible week this past week, destroying the Nuggets. They uh they put a beating on Minnesota as well, and then they just beat Boston in a super tough, competitive, impressive game as well, where they just outplayed them. And it also in that game, just one more thing on Shea. Shea is so dominant that the best defensive backcourt in basketball, Derek White and Drew Holiday, it didn't matter. It did not matter at all. Shea still got to his spots. He was never sped up. Calmly, cool. Drew Holiday's in my face, no problem. I'm still gonna get to this free throw line area, still to this elbow area, and I'm gonna lay it up in Drew's face. Those guys can't guard me. Shea is unreal, and then a true MVP candidate. And it leaves me wondering. So many people are excited about this OKC team, and rightfully so. They are not without questions, at least for me. Yes, this is a fun team, and they got a lot of good players, good consistent players with diverse skill sets. Absolutely. I just, I again, I do have my questions as far as the playoffs go. They are still a small-ish team. I know Chet is pretty much one of the 8 to 10 best centers in basketball already with his skill set, with his two-way ability, absolutely. But him as kind of their only and like primary big person on that team, it could cause some problems in a playoff series where again a team you run into the wrong matchup and you have to deal with that every single game back to back to back to back. It could wear on Chet, and it would just be nice if he had some more help in that front court. To me, that could wear on him. Um, I don't think you're going to get by with. I've seen them put Jalen Williams on a big and then have Chet help weak side. I don't think that's gonna get by for 2, 3, 4 straight playoff rounds. I don't know. The good thing for them is the West. They're pretty much like the class of the West right now. Them, Denver, and Minnesota. They're clearly the best teams. So even if they have their deficiencies, it's not gonna matter too much if they run into these other teams. I don't want to leave out the Clippers. I know nobody trusts them, but they are a good team and they've been dominant over the past month. I do want to shout them out as well. But it also leaves the question of should this team bust a move at the trade deadline and try to bring in some more size or um another like a bigger wing, another five potentially. Um, I've seen Jared Allen get floated out there. Some, Something like that. Are they willing to do that? Should they do that? Should you just keep going with the trajectory and let this team just grow year over year and see how far you can get with this team and then make your evaluation later? To me, windows are windows, windows open, windows close. You don't want to miss opportunities, and if you got a shot to go win a title, which OKC does, because they are really, really good, you may or may not want to go for it. Uh, that's my one thing. But either way, they are incredible. If you have not checked out a Thunder game, please do so. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's guaranteed good basketball. No stupid turnovers, no dumb shots. All these boys know what they're good at. One more thing, um, they're gonna be a top 4 seed in the West. They're gonna be a home court advantage team. The Josh Giddey thing is gonna be very interesting in the playoffs. It is. We will. The Josh Giddey situation will become a thing. It's going to be a thing in the playoffs, whether it's for good or for bad. He is a major wild card for this team, and I want to see what happens when they run into an opponent that game plans for Josh Giddey. I want to see, big guard who has a ton of playmaking skills, of course, but he can't shoot. He's not very athletic, and like I'm interested. I feel like I feel like we're destined for a Josh Giddey moment in the playoffs at some point. It's gonna be a thing. We won't hear the last from Josh Giddey. I already see there's already some games where he doesn't close for this team. I don't know. I don't know if that's something. I don't know if that's anything. It could be nothing. We just gotta see. I'm interested in that point as well. But again, this Thunder team, they are finally here. They've been building it. We've been seeing it. We've seen the competitiveness. It's finally here. They're finally a true contender. I believe that with a real MVP candidate, a legit supporting cast, they are incredible. And shout out to them. Shout out to Mark Dagnall as well. Yeah, man. But I had to shoot the Thunder some praise. And there's some interesting things that I'm eventually looking forward to. But let me know, Thunder fans, if you're in the comments, should they make a move? Should they stay put? Should Shea be the MVP? Are you worried about Josh Giddey? Are you confident in Josh Giddey? Let me know. Let me know. Please let me know in the comments. This is gonna be playoff time, man. This video could or could not run kind of long. Might see. If it does, oh well, so be it. Just hear me talk a little. But if you did like hearing me ramble for however many minutes this is gonna be, hit the like button, subscribe button so you don't miss another video. This has been Playoff Don. I will be out with more content.